for things like the Fountain of Youth. If you go to St. Augustine, Florida, you find all this stuff about people that you can even get a bottle of water from the Fountain of Youth, and tourist stuff. So you've been there?
I'm from there.
Oh, you're from there, yes. And I've gone through the little thing. So people came thinking, they were going to find the Fountain of Youth or a whole land full of gold and things like that. So it's the New World. Well, here's what the New World actually brought. They encounter this man who, on the top of 552, Candide asks, "What are you doing in this horrible condition, my friend?" Because at the last paragraph on 551, as they drew near the town, they discovered a Negro stretched on the ground with only half his clothes left, that is, a pair of blue drawers. The poor fellow was also missing his left leg and his right hand. He wants to know how this happened. And why is he in this condition? "I'm waiting for my master, Mr. Vanderdender, the famous merchant. Is Mr. Vanderdender," Candide asked, "the man who treated you this way?" "Yes, sir," the Negro said. "That's how things are around here. Twice a year we get a pair of linen drawers to wear. If we catch a finger in the sugar mill where we work, they cut off our hand. If we try to run away, they cut off our leg. I have undergone both of these experiences. This is the price of the sugar you eat in Europe. And yet when my mother sold me for 10 Patagonian crowns, they thought, oh, it's wonderful because they got money." It's like, it was supposed to, so this was like good, apparently, according to the family, but they didn't know what they were sending him to. So, this is the price, don't forget that line. This is the price of the sugar you eat in Europe. And if you can see that we've got the same sort of thing going on here that we had in the Rape of the Lock, right? That there's this problem of the wealthy. Yeah, sure, in Europe they've got sugar for their coffee, and the coffee comes from some foreign land, so they've got coffee, and they can sit in their nice salons and play cards. They can play ombre, that card game, and sip coffee and tea and have sugar. And what is the price? Somebody's losing their leg, somebody's losing an arm, or historically, a lot of what happened were the Western European diseases were transferred over to the slaves who were used to colonize. And so you've got the colonization of South and Central America and slavery and those issues that are going on. So you've got slavery that's an issue, you've got colonization that's an issue, and that is the point at which Candide says, "I must give up your optimism after all, because it is a mania for saying things are well when one is in hell." Now he heads back. We've got a turning point here. He had been going, he went all the way to El Dorado, so he sailed west. It was that whole westward, expansion, we're going to colonize and all that. It's that westward, following the colonization path and exploring and all that. But then he returns from the New World after he's discovered that although El Dorado was beautiful and wonderful, nobody fought, they had tons of jewels and all of this. He leaves. Why did he leave El Dorado? Do you remember why?
To go make a house himself, or like a place for himself.
Pardon?
A place for himself.
To make a place for himself. And what was El Dorado missing?
The girl.
The girl, Cunigund. Yes, Cunigund's missing, so El Dorado's not that great. So he goes back to El Dorado. He goes back from El Dorado. And so they head back. He encounters Martin. And let's just go ahead and, can you stop it in screen?
Yeah.
Okay, good. That's good, okay. Let's skip on over to the Candide makes it back. We do want to talk a little bit about Romanticism today. How does everything end?
Almost everyone that died is alive, and
Pretty much everybody comes back to life again. Yeah. Candide finds Cunigund. They find the old woman. They find Pangloss. What kind of shape is Cunigund in? What kind of shape is Candide in?
She's old and ugly.
She's what? Not very good, exactly. She's old and ugly. Yeah, she's now ugly and has been through all these torments, but okay, he's devoted to her. So what do? They get married, do they all go their separate ways?
No, everybody can say she.
They all stay together. And what is this business on page 579? 579, at the bottom. They meet a good old man who is enjoying, this is the 5th line from the bottom, there's a little farm, and they passed a good old man who was enjoying the cool of the day at his doorstep under a grove of orange trees. Pangloss, who was as inquisitive as he was explanatory, asked the name of the mufti who had been strangled. They heard about this. And what does the man know about it? You remember what he knows? What? Nothing. Nothing. He knows nothing about it. Right? Why is that?
He's ignorant.
Okay, he's ignorant of the episode. How does he live? How does this old farmer live?
Spends time with his fruits. Doesn't he garden?
He gardens, yes.
And he's good.
And what?
She's singing.
Oh, you're singing
I was just singing that song.
the garden, let our garden grow? Yes, we'll make our garden grow. So he doesn't know anything about the problems of the world, right? He just, what does he do? He says on 580, 3rd paragraph, short paragraph, only 3 lines. I have only 20 acres, replied the Turk. I cultivate them with my children, and the work keeps us from 3 great evils: boredom, vice, and poverty. And so Candide, skipping down 1, 2, 3 paragraphs, it's 1 line. I know also, said Candide, that we must cultivate our garden. And Martin says, 2 down, let's work without speculation. It's the only way of rendering life bearable. What do you think of that? What does that mean? What does that mean? Let's work without speculation and we'll cultivate our own garden. I want somebody to answer that doesn't usually answer. We're going to cultivate our, I know, okay. Does somebody play baseball? You play baseball? This will help. Oh, this will help a lot. Okay. Play baseball. When you're getting ready to bat, you're up at bat, right? What's in your mind?
What's going on in the game, I guess, just the situation.
Okay, the situation in the game. Okay. What about, like, the pitcher? Are you focusing on him and?
Know what his pitches are and his strengths and his weaknesses, I guess.
Okay, so you think about him, you're focused on that sort. Do you think about, what if, I don't want to mess up the next time you're batting here, but I'm going to ask you a question. What if while you're standing there, you suddenly start thinking about the tsunami?
Might help you.
It might help you.
Yeah.
Did you know anybody in the tsunami? No. What if you had a friend who was over there and the tsunami had just hit and you started worrying about the tsunami?
I don't know.
Would that, are you supposed to start thinking about why tsunamis come?